Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Georgia. First off, if there's loads of background noise, I do apologise. I have got the balcony door open because it's like 27 degrees and it's too hot in this house. So the balcony door is open. So if you can hear cars and people and birds, I apologise. I cannot cope with the door shut. I've tried. I'm sorry. Moving on. So for today's video, I thought we would do my July TBR. So this month I am gonna cheat a little bit on my TBR because I'm actually just going to pick the books I want to read. There are a few books that I definitely want to get to this month. So ones like pre-ordered that I will be reading the second it arrives. A couple are ones that I just really want to get to. During the month of June, I actually managed to read quite a few books. So I know I've only been hitting sort of like 4 at the minute, but I have read a lot more this month than I have in like April and May. I'm again only going to pick 4 books for my TBR, just in case I don't have the opportunity. I do go away in July. I go to Budapest for a few days, so I won't be able to get much reading done then, things like that. So I don't know how much time I'm going to have for reading, so I'm only going to pick 4 books and then I don't feel that pressure. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And my social media and Amazon and everything will be linked in the description box below like normal. The first book that I want to read in the month of July is Reckless by Lauren Roberts. Now this is like my most anticipated release for 2024. I'm obsessed with that series. So far I have read Powerless and I have read Powerful, and I have really enjoyed both of these books, but Powerless just ends on a cliffhanger and we don't know what's going on, and I need a response. I need to know what is happening with this storyline. If you've not read the series yet, do it. Read them both. Read Powerful as well. I know some people don't want the novella, but trust me, read it, it's really good. But yeah, so it follows Kai and Payden in like these trials. It's about people, I forget what they call them, and I had this trouble last time and I really should have checked before I started filming, but hey, we're here now. So there's like ordinaries who don't have powers, and then there's people that do have powers, and there's all like different types of powers that you can have. Like some give you the ability to move quickly, some give you teleport abilities, some of you can create like visions, some of you can project what you can see, things like that. So there's like all these different powers. At the end of the first book, at the end of Powerless, there's like a big revolution. Payden runs off, likes it, they all found out she doesn't have powers, and it kind of just ends there. And like the last line is something basically say like Kit, the new king, saying, "Find me, Payden." So that's where we end, and there is like a bit of a love interest between Kai and Payden. It's like a slow burn throughout the entire book. Like they don't even kiss. Like that, it's dragged out for so long, but there is definitely feelings there from each character towards each other. And now there's going to be this big thing because it's literally Kai's job to unalive anybody who betrays the king or anybody who doesn't have powers, and now he's going to have to kill Payden, but obviously he loves her, so there's this thing. And I'm just so excited to see where the book goes. I've not read any spoilers about it so far. I've not read any sneak peeks, no nothing. I don't want to know anything about it. I just want to go in as blind as possible, so I don't know where it's going to go. I'm literally just, I can't wait to get my hands on this book. It does come out on the 2nd of July, and I've got it pre-ordered, so it should be at my door literally Tuesday morning. So I will be sat waiting. Well, I won't. I'll be at work, but the second I get home, I will be seated reading this book. I am so excited. I am hoping to do like a reading vlog with that one, so I'm going to like vlog my experience with that book because I'm so excited. It's literally my most anticipated read for this year. So that is book number 1 that I'm planning on reading in July. The next book I want to read in July is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Now this is becoming a film, and that comes out the first week in August, I think it's like might be the second week, I think it's like the 8th of August or something like that. Blake Lively is playing our main character Lily. I read the back of this book for the first time today. I've literally had this book for like a year and never actually opened it and read it. But yeah, so this is about our main character Lily. And then I think there's like 2 possible love interests. Literally all I know about it is what I've read on the back of it. But I think there's like 2 possible love interests. I don't know if it's a bit of like an abusive relationship. I know a lot of people have like bawled their eyes out at this book. It is quite an emotional one, I think. It's by Colleen Hoover. I've read Verity by her, and I know that Verity is like very different, but I like her writing style. Not necessarily like the topics, but I just like her, like reading her stuff. It's just really easy to read. I don't know much about it, but I am definitely excited to give this a go. I do think it is quite a heart-wrenching one. It's like it's definitely got its sad moments in there, and I know some people that have actually cried at this book. So yeah, I am excited to read this one and see what all the fuss is about, because I feel like it was doing the rounds on TikTok for the longest time and I just never picked it up. But I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to finally jump into this book. I have already got the second one as well. But yeah, like I say, it is coming out as a film in August. So I want to be ready for when the film comes out so I can go and watch it. And then I'll have read the book already, because I feel like you should always read the book before you watch the film. So, second book for July, It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I am going away in July, and it's recently been like the Stuff Your Kindle day, so I've downloaded so many books onto my Kindle. So I'm going to just take my Kindle when I go to Budapest. So I want to pick something off of my Kindle to read on the plane and things. I won't get much time to read while I'm there, so it's literally just going to be plain entertainment. But I do want to have something on my Kindle as like a choice for while I'm away. So I do think I want to read The Outlaw Wolves. So it's called Hunted. You can see it there. So the book's called Hunted. It's part of the Outlaw Wolves series. I have only got book one because that is all that was on Stuff Your Kindle day. But I really want to read this. I think it's like a shapeshifter romance, but also like MC sort of romance, and they're two that I'm really enjoying at the moment, so I'm really excited to see them sort of meet in the middle and come together. So it is a shapeshifter motorbike gang club type thing romance, and honestly I'm excited about it. It had decent reviews when I downloaded it, so I am definitely excited to give this a go. I don't really know much about it at all, to be totally honest with you. I know I say it all the time, but I do like to go into a book as blind as possible. So it is a short one. It's only like 250 pages long, so I should probably read this by the time we get to Budapest, depending on the situation on the plane, because I don't know if we're seated together or not. So if we see it together, probably won't, but if we're all seated separately, then I'll have plenty of time to read. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to give this one a go. I think we should Google it and get some more information. Bear with. Ooh, I think it's like an enemies to lovers sort of situation. So I'm just reading the like blurb. So it's a second chance wolf shifter romance. He leads a pack of outlaw wolves to take down the bad guys that no one else can touch. She comes from legendary shifter enforcers who have half his men on their most wanted list. But yeah, it does sound like quite an emotional one as well, to be honest. So like, she's out for blood. I think there's going to be a lot of talk about like PTSD and mental health and things like that in this as well, to be honest. I don't actually think it's MC after all. I think they're just outlaws. Yeah, for some reason I had it in my head this was MC, but I think they're just outlaws. I don't think it's actually MC. I don't know where I got that from. I'm definitely excited to give this a go. It is one of 5, so if I like the first one, it's going to become quite expensive when I have to buy the rest. But I'm definitely looking forward to jumping into this series. I've never read like a true shapeshifter book. They're always just kind of mentioned in other things that I've read, so I'm definitely excited to jump into like strictly shapeshifter world. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this. So this is Hunted by Anastasia Wilde. I don't actually think I said that at the beginning, but this is the 3rd book that I would like to read this month. And then the last book that I'm going to choose for this month's TBR is Hooked by Emily McIntyre. So this is the first book in the Never After novels, and I have the entire series and I've just never actually got round to picking them up. So I do think they're like loose retellings of the Disney films, but they're like dark romances. I do like a dark romance. I know that like the trigger warning list for these is quite big, which always makes me a little bit excited. Everyone else just obsessed with the fact that like all books have playlists in now. I just love it. I think this one is loosely based on Peter Pan. I've heard a lot of good things about this one as well. I think this is a lot of people's favourites out of the series as well. James has always had one agenda: destroy his enemy, Peter Michaels. When Peter's 20-year-old daughter Wendy shows up in James's bar, he sees his way in, seduce the girl and use her for revenge. So, I mean, I reckon it's going to be a bit of like an enemies to lover anyway. Well, it's a revenge romance, let's be honest. But she's going to end up falling for him. James or the monster, also known as Hook. So yeah, it's definitely a Peter Pan loose retelling. He wants revenge, but he wants her more. So I am definitely intrigued for this. I haven't read a dark romance in a while, so I'm excited to get back into some dark romance. Do you know what? I'm going to just pick one more because why not? So I've got a fantasy book. I've got a Colleen Hoover one that's technically a romance, but apparently not really. I've got like a shapeshifter one. I've got the dark romance. I think I just want like a nice fluffy romance as well. So I think the last book that I'm going to read is one that I mentioned in my 24-hour reading challenge. I really wanted to read this book during that 24-hour reading challenge, but everybody rated Yours Truly as my, like, can we not? So I put A Happy Place and Yours Truly against each other on a poll on my Instagram before that video. If you've not watched it, I will link it up here for you. So I put these two against each other then, and Yours Truly did come out on top, but I still really want to read this book. So I'm going to add it to this month's TBR anyway. This is Happy Place by Emily Henry. Now this book is like I think again it's quite an emotional one, but it is about a couple who every year go on to this, is it a lodge? Cottage. So every year this couple and all their friends go to like a cottage and spend some time there together, and it turns out that that cottage is now going up for sale, so this will be the last time that they all get to go together. So our two main characters, Harriet and Wynne, have actually broken up, but they haven't told anybody yet. So they've been broken up 6 months, still not told anybody, and now all the friends are like, it's gonna be the last year we can all go together, so they don't want to like ruin it, so they basically pretend that they're still together. So it is like a fake dating situation, but it's also like a second chance romance. They can't bear to break their best friend's heart, so they'll fake it for one more week. I'm assuming that like spending all that time together and pretending they're together again sort of makes them remember why they were together in the first place, and they sort of make up from there. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to read this book. I've heard so much good stuff about it and about Emily Henry's writing in general, so I am definitely looking forward to giving this a go. A nice just little fluffy romance to add to my TBR for July. So I have picked 5 for this month, so I'm just going to quickly go over them again for you. So I've got Reckless by Lauren Roberts, which is the next one in the Powerless duology. I think she's actually announced it's going to be a trilogy now. Or I don't know if people are just classing Powerful, which is going to really upset me because, yeah, I want more. We're going to read Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I also have It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Hunted by Anastasia Wilde, so that's going to be my Kindle read for my holiday. Hooked by Emily McIntyre, just a bit of a dark romance just to mix things up a little bit. And then finally Happy Place by Emily Henry, just a nice fluffy romance. So they're the 5 books that I do plan on reading in July. I do think I'll probably end up reading more because there are quite a few short ones in there. I feel like 5 is a good number. I did just 4 in April and May. June has been quite a good reading month as well, so I'm kind of hoping that that can continue on now. And yeah, I have already completed my reading challenge for this year. So my goal was to read 24 books, and as it stands right now at the time of filming this, I've read 30. So go me. I'm quite proud of myself for that, to be honest. They're the 5 books I plan on reading in July. If you've read any of these books yet, then do let me know what you thought of them in the comments down below. I definitely love hearing all of your guys' like opinions on the books that I'm going to be reading, and also just your opinions on the ones I've already read, just because I like to see if we're on the same wavelength, if you like the kind of books I like, because then I know I can trust your recommendations. And I've had a really good reading month in June, so I'm really hoping that that continues through to July, because I've been just loving the books that I've been picking up this month. Next week's video will actually be my June's reads, and like I said, I've had a really good reading month, so there's some really good books in there that I definitely recommend you all read. I think I only had 1 book last month that I didn't really enjoy, but the rest were really good and I really enjoyed them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And as always, my social medias and Amazon and everything will be linked to the description box below. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you next week. Bye.